I'm Mike from Palm Visual, and I'm going to show you how to get some really beautiful footage using the Ronin-S Gimbal. So let's jump straight into the assembly and balancing. Let's look at the kit. Here's the grip, the battery, the plate, and the gimbal. So we're using the spacer provided. Now that's because of the particular camera setup we're using today. We've got the Sony a7 III and the 24-70G master lens. The width of the barrel of this lens was about either the same or a tiny bit more than the camera itself, which meant that the barrel was tight on the plate. With the spacer in place, we can indeed operate our zoom. So let's attach the battery to the grip and then the grip to the gimbal and lock that into place. Then we're going to stand it up and then we can attach the plate onto the gimbal. Now we're just moving it back just far enough so it doesn't rock forward, then we'll lock that into place. So then we'll work on the tilt axis, lay the camera on its back, and then when it rocks forward, we'll move the camera backwards. When it rocks backwards, we'll move the arm forwards, and we're just looking for that point where it won't rock either way, and we'll lock it in. For the roll axis, we'll do the same thing. We'll move that arm left to right until it stops wanting to swing to either side. For the pan axis, we're going to lean the whole rig at 45 degrees. We're going to make minor adjustments to this arm until it no longer rocks to either side. So when the gimbal's properly balanced, you should be able to put it into this position and it will stay in place. Push the power button on the battery, then hold the power button on the gimbal until all the lights light up. So then the gimbal will make this move, letting you know that it's on and ready to use. If you hold the trigger on the front, it will maintain this position, and if you move at a regular speed, it will slowly follow your movements. If you hold the manual button, it will use sport mode, where it will make some really quick whip movements. Let's get outside into the real world and I'll show you what this gimbal can do. So this first shot, we're sat in a car holding the gimbal out of the roof, and even in a car you get some beautiful stable footage. And this brings us to our first move. Tracking just being moving with the camera, moving backwards or forwards, pushing in towards a subject or away from a subject. You can be following a subject, or you can just be showing off your environment. To achieve this, I'm moving with really small footsteps, walking heel to toe, rolling my feet, knees bent, back straight. Okay, here we're moving the camera into underslung position, and then we're just moving forward and then tilting up by leaning back a little bit. I'm choosing to do this rather than use the joystick, as the joystick moves can be a little robotic and sometimes a little oversensitive. So here's the arc shot. I'm just moving in a circle around my subject. On a wide lens, this is going to give you a big sense of the environment, and on a long lens, you're going to get more depth of field. So here I'm performing the 360-degree roll movement, and this is simply entered into user preference on the app by setting all the axes but the roll axis to NA. The jib, I'm just holding the gimbal in underslung mode and I'm moving up as high as I can reach. you can get extra height by mounting the gimbal to a monopod. I hope this was really useful. Thanks so much for watching.